basically body, mind, and soul. If you can be physically, mentally, and spiritually well all together, you're really well off. If one's off balance, it's going to affect the others. And being spiritually well seems to have a big impact on the mental and physical, period.
Hey y'all, this is Alita. Welcome back to the Because Adulting is Hard podcast. This is my friend Erin Martin, and we are going to kind of begin to delve into some metaphysical stuff, right?
Yes.
That's it. I'm super excited about this because I'm literally standing here learning things new. So tell me what the name of your business is and kind of how you ended up here.
My business is the Cray Healer, and well, I've been interested in rocks my whole life and other things that make me feel better spiritually.
Correct.
Feel more connected to God, to the earth.
Calming, slowing, all of the things that we've been talking about. So I'm excited about this because this is going to be a long-term series for Erin. I know she's like shaking. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to make her come in. But today we're specifically going to talk about smudging because it's something that she's introduced me to. And I've been doing it probably for about, I would say 2 months, is probably what we're on pretty consistently as part of my morning routine. So let's talk a little bit about, first of all, what exactly is smudging? Like, can you give me that part?
Yes.
So when people have now started seeing the pictures online and they ask me, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm smudging. And so give me what that is.
So smudging is taking herbs, botanicals, resins, wood, and burning them.
That's
like
a little
incense, basically.
Right. So like these are, I use sage. I also use these Palo Santo sticks. That's what we're going to use today. So it's literally, the literal definition of it is the burning of something. And it dates back a long ways. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. So I'm going to give us, so you can do resins.
Yes.
What is a resin?
So resins are like from trees or,
like waxes.
Frankincense or myrrh, like those are coming in a resin.
Okay.
Amber, copal,
different things like that.
Right.
So I would like to start with a little bit of the history. Where does this come from? Why are we doing this? I use it, like I said, in the morning as part of my quiet time. I begin by reading a Bible verse first. I do some other spiritual readings. I light my sage. Sometimes, depends on how I am. Sometimes I have all three of them going all at one time. So where does the history of that begin from?
So this has been practiced for thousands and thousands of years. I mean, back to the ancient Romans, Greeks, Native Americans, all different cultures across the world have burned herbs and other things.
During a ceremony, correct?
Right, it's basically a ritual. This is a ceremony of types to basically cleanse your energy.
To cleanse your energy.
Cleanse your energy, cleanse your space. It's to remove negative energy and vibrations. And some of these actually have proven physical benefits.
So let's talk about that. So this is a Palo Santo stick.
Correct.
Right. And to me, it smells a lot like what you smell in the Catholic Church. That when they're burning, I know that they're probably not burning Palo Santo sticks, but they're burning something. So what is the significance of this particular stick?
So Palo Santo comes from a type of tree that grows in South America, and you want to be ethically harvested, it would come from a tree that's already fallen.
Correct.
And it has this basically like an oil. Palo Santo literally means holy wood, and Ursa graveolens, if I'm saying that correctly.
Okay.
The type of tree it comes from literally means bag of oil. And so when you burn it, sometimes some are have a little more oil in them. You'll actually see it kind of look almost wet around where the flame is. Have you seen that?
It does.
Some of them?
And I can see it almost condensate
Yes.
down on it when it's burning, especially when I've left them outside and it's humid. I see them burning a little bit like that. Right. So when we're using this, what are the healing benefits that come from something like this?
So like Palo Santo specifically has some anti-anxiety properties. You smell it. It's very calming and uplifting feeling.
Correct.
So they say that Palo Santo can clear the negative energy, it's to help clear negative thoughts. It's to bring a certain new pattern into your...
So is it weird to say that when I'm holding mine, like I literally like rub it all? Don't laugh
Well, there's a way to do it.
Is
for
there
a person.
Is there a way to do it?
A person,
okay, because I don't know anything about this. So
you can do it with sage or whatever.
Right. Okay.
There's all different herbs for different reasons.
So there are different herbs for different reasons. So I want to talk about, so we talked a little bit about the physical. So when you're actually beginning to get into saging, because like you just said, I'm using it in a way that I have no idea if I'm supposed to be using it. I'm using it. This is where the way that I feel led to be, when I'm using it as a prayer tool, I'm using it for things like that. So last time that we talked about this in person, well, I want to talk about the things. Let me talk about the ones that have names on them. So she did some different ones like this. These are available at the Funky Monkey. They're also available on the link to her store, which will connect to on here. Have you pulled your website up live? Yes. She has. I'm so proud of her. Since the last time we talked to, so in these, she's actually carved in them. So like mine say fierce and there's different sayings on them, girl boss, different things. So when I'm meditating on that's a struggle for me. Getting up in the morning and having the courage to come out and do hard things every day is something that I work on. So I use this as a form of inspiration. Now, last time we talked about this, you told me that there's some connection to earth, wind, and fire. I don't remember what that is.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little, because that's what we're going to do here. She's actually going to light it for us and kind of show you what this whole thing would look like and talk us through what it would look like.
So you would traditionally have a shell or a bowl, and that's your vessel, and that's representative of the element water. And then you've got your herbs or your wood or botanicals, and that's representative of earth element. Then you've got your fire, and that's pretty self-explanatory. And then the smoke is representative of air. And some people also use a feather to kind of waft the smoke towards them or whoever they're smudging or throughout their space, and that can be considered also a secondary air element.
A secondary air element. So how do you use it every day? Like I've told you a little bit about how I do it. How do you do it?
Basically kind of the same thing. I have the little spot on my back patio next to the little water fountain, and I go out there and I do my gratitude or productivity journal every morning.
First thing in the morning, correct?
Yeah,
you do this before you talk with people?
No.
I
actually talk to my husband before I go out.
Dude, that's a nice. You're nice. See, you're a nicer person.
He's actually really quiet. He kind of goes into the garage by himself, and he's a smoker, so he has his smoke and
tends to. Okay, yeah. So then you go outside. You have a little area that you sit,
and then I get it all cleaned up and set up my stuff, and that's when I smudge. I either light my sage or palo or both, depending on how I feel that day. Sometimes an incense cone there's certain ones I like the smell of, but I smudge my space and I smudge myself.
Okay.
Top to bottom, front to back, and then I'll sit down when I feel good, and I'll fill out my journal and
a gratitude journal, correct?
Yep. And I'm practicing meditating, getting into doing that every day, slowly but surely.
Well, I mean, I was really proud of when I got to where I could sit for 5 minutes, I mean, it was like an accomplishment for me because like a 20-minute, I'm up to 20 minutes. And I mean, wow, like it's people that sit and meditate for hours, they impress me. Like, yes. I mean,
it's hard to sit there and not let your thoughts drift off. You're supposed to be focused on kind of just what's actually your breathing, or if your eyes are open, whatever you're anchoring yourself to there, that
the clearing of your mind.
Hear the birds, feel the wind, whatever.
Literally the calming of your body. So so sometimes people ask me, so, I mean, what does this have to do with, for me, it's an entire routine of making time to set a spiritual priority, to sit down and do it consistently, and to calm my mind, calm my body. And actually the feeling that if I can calmly sit and meditate, takes me some time, but if I can, the feeling of calmness that I get in my body and in my mind is priceless. It's what helps me regulate on a daily basis when I'm having interactions and I'm having social anxiety other places. I can ground myself back to the physical things that I was doing in the morning to make sure that I was, you're better. You right. I wish I could. It's on my list of things to work on in 2020 as a gratitude journal, because I keep reading that it's such a powerful tool to use.
It is.
So I am super excited about doing these because we're just going to continue to add things. I mean, y'all are literally watching Erin and her kind of teach me some of these things. She doesn't.
Still learning too. So
right. She's still learning too. Right. We're going to learn together, but I think it's important because this is something that we're going to start growing at the Funky Monkey. They can find you. We're going to connect your link. What are some things that you're interested in helping people get into in these products? Like, can they access you on your website? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, there's, you can always contact me there or I've got Facebook and Instagram too. But yeah, these are all available there. And the goal is to just assist people on their journey to spiritual wellness. I mean,
There it is. I love it. Say it again.
just assist you all on your journey through just spiritual wellness. It is a journey, all of it. And it's, really the thought behind it is if you are practicing spiritual wellness and you are basically body, mind, and soul, if you can be physically, mentally, and spiritually well all together, you're really well off. If one's off balance, it's going to affect the others. And being spiritually well seems to have a big impact on the mental and the physical, period. It's kind of I feel like it's kind of the key thing.
It is, because I want to say in some of
mentally and physically well.
Because I've done it the other way, tried to bypass the spiritual part and just work it.
And there's it can lead to such an emptiness. There's not a satisfaction, or you're constantly feeling, I don't know, not exactly content. There's something missing there if you're not
spiritually
feeding your soul.
So yes, I love that. I know that this is going to be a work in progress with Erin and I, but that is exactly why I'm bringing you on, to continue to talk about spiritual wellness. We talk about physical wellness, we talk about mental wellness, but I mean, there is definitely a spiritual wellness in there that I am really excited to learn about. We are going to come back and I'm going to see you on what's the next thing that we're going to do. Manifesting.
Setting your intentions.
And we're going to do it with a moon cycle, right?
Yes.
Is that what? Yeah, I have
plan.
That's the plan. So literally she's teaching me this as we're going along. My friend Brenda's been on me about it too. And so I'm excited about the things that we're going to get to learn and the journey that we are. These Palo Santo sticks, she's done a really, really great job on our, of the ones in the store. I asked her to make some QR codes. So when you come in the store, there's a QR code that gives you access to more information about how to use these sticks. If you have any specific questions, we will have those up. And then there's also guidance in here. Like this is one of the packs. I think what are they? $17? I think $16.99, something like that. We'd have to go back and look that up. But
I think those are 12, maybe. 99.
Yeah. So I love this positive life. Positive bites, setting the intention for your day. And then who doesn't love rocks? Who doesn't love crystals and things like that? So I appreciate you coming on. Can you think of anything else?
No, that's it. Let's just get everybody feeling better.
That's right. I mean, it's a learning. Spiritual wellness is a learning to, Garrett and I talk about this too, about learning to calm your body. That's a hard thing for me. Mentally being calm enough to have a spirit, to allow the spiritual guidance to come in. It's a thing. It's
to help connect you to whatever, is your purpose. And for a lot of people, that's connecting to a source, connecting back with nature, and you'll see a huge improvement in your thought processes and how you feel every day getting up, when you start to practice
spiritual wellness. I like the words that you said. Every time it's like I don't do this regularly. Okay, so thanks, Erin, for coming on, and remember to live happier, because adulting is hard, and I always enjoy hearing the things that you have to say.